Greetings from the future. I just want to let you all know that this episode is probably PG-13 adjacent, just so you know. There are a few words that are used that aren't normally used in Squelch episodes, but they are valuable for the humor of Dispatch and this episode, so we are keeping them in. But just know, it's nothing too crazy, but there are a few repeated words and stuff that maybe you're not used to hearing here. So if there's something that, if you have children in the car or whatever, maybe wait on this one. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Thank you so much for listening, and on to the intro, I guess.
Squelch, 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 squelch.
Welcome back to Squelch, the video game book club. I am Dano.
I am Mad at Arms.
And I am Storm Rage. And we're here to remind you that Dispatch is a game and games are supposed to be fun.
This week on Dispatch, we are playing chapters 4, 5, and 6. Next week, cue the sad crying noises. We are playing chapters 7 and 8. And then finishing up the game over far too soon, if you ask me.
3 weeks. It's just 3 weeks, but boy, howdy, are they such fun 3 weeks.
They're really fun.
I mean, it could have been 1 week. I finished this game in 2 days. It's a very short video game. It's so good, though. It's really, really good. I absolutely love it. Before we get Dispatch, let's go thank some patrons.
Thanks. I am pretty incredible.
Thank.
I almost didn't forget. Don't worry.
In fact, you didn't forget. You didn't forget. You didn't forget.
Sure, we'll pretend that I just didn't wait half a second and then you started speaking and I remembered that you say something.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you, patrons and Twitch subs. Your support keeps this podcast ticking. If you want to put the show, head over to twitch.tv/DanoPlay or patreon.com/Squelch. $5 and above patrons get the podcast tonight. It is recorded tonight. That is today, because we are recording during the day. It is Superb Owl Sunday, so we're recording a little early. So, enjoy the game if you choose to watch it, or the Olympics if you don't, or whatever you're doing. No shame here. Watch whatever you want.
Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah,
Life
seriously.
is stressful. Enjoy your Sundays.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, enjoy your Sunday however you want to. No shame, no pressure.
Wear a comfy blanket if you have to. That's what you got to do.
Yes, and then go and watch the old Jax Films video, the WTF blanket from 17 years ago. Do you remember that one? It's an old Snuggie parody. It's fantastic. All right, let's recap some Dispatch.
We may be superheroes.
Oh, no, let's not recap some Dispatch. Let's go to some lore.
This one's a real page-turner.
I was like, we're moving so fast today.
To be fair, there's a lot.
316 episodes, everyone. All right, we have a pretty awesome cast of characters here. It starts at the top with Robert Robertson III, a.k.a. Mecha Man. He is the dispatcher for the Z-Team, a team of former superheroes being Oh, boy, howdy. Robert
You want to
Robertson.
take one more crack at that?
Yeah, well, we're not going to edit it out, but we're going to say it all over again, though.
Yeah. That's the Squelch way.
Robert Robertson III, a.k.a. Mecha Man. He is the dispatcher for the Z-Team. The Z-Team is a team of former supervillains being rehabilitated as superheroes. Next, and certainly most important, is Beef, Robert Robertson III's dog. He is a very good boy. Next up is Blonde Blazer. She's a blonde superhero. She can fly. She is the superhero who is in charge of our entire office of SDN, who we work for. Then we have Coupe, a former assassin who flies and uses knives. She is Punch-Up's ex-girlfriend, and everyone calls her Coop because Coupe is kind of weird. And then we have Flambebe. His skin doesn't burn. He flies fast, he gets on fire, and his eyebrows do burn, though, as we learned at the very beginning of this game.
Mm-hmm. We got Gollum. He's a mud construct and an absolute sweetheart. Just the greatest character. Invisigal has the powers to be invisible as long as she's holding her breath, and then she has asthma. We have Malevola, a demon mommy with a giant sword that can cut fabric of space to different locations. She's also amazing. And she has, just Sonar's Narcotics Anonymous sponsor, Ed loves True Crime Podcast. It's very important. Phenomaman. I said it right the first time.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I've been practicing. An alien who looks like a human. He can fly and is very strong. And Prism, a pop star that uses light to project copies of people and herself, and she's from Flint, Michigan.
Then, moving on, we have Punch-Up, a former circus performer who asked a witch to make him super strong, and she granted it. But he also then shrunk very, very small. He is about 3'3". And what does his name mean? We'll find out eventually, and it's one of my favorite reveals in the entire game. Royd. He's a very big, muscular man, used to be a villain, was talked out of villainy by Robertson III's father, so Robert Robertson II.
Junior?
And instead works, well, sure, that's how most people would say it, but not me. Now works for SDN as a mechanic, and he is going to fix up Mecha Man's suit. Then there is Sonar. He's Batboy all grown up. He's a Harvard graduate. He switches between human form with a bat head and just a giant monstrous bat. When he's in bat form, he gets flight and a couple other things. Then there's Waterboy. He's the new janitor and junior superhero. He is the most nervous boy that has ever existed, and everything's wet around him. He pukes up water. He oozes water. He's a very wet boy. And then Chase, who I added because he wasn't on the list up above, I believe, and he is, I think, a significant figure here. He is a former superhero who went by the name Trackstar that used to work with our dad and used to be our babysitter. He is a speedster that aged 50 times faster when he used his powers, but didn't realize it until it was too late. So he is technically 39, but he looks 80. His catchphrase is "keep up" as he races away.
We may be superheroes, but we're nothing without SDN's real hero, the Dispatcher. So, Dispatcher, where do we start? Well, it appears we've got our first call from a subscriber.
Good call on adding Chase, by the way. I knew I'd forgotten someone, but couldn't remember who it was. So thank you for that.
So, Chapter 4, Dispatch. We open up on what seems to be an encounter that would certainly lead to someone calling the stork and saying, "Hello, I would like a baby, please." And it's with Invisigal and someone. And we don't quite know who, but there are quite a few sounds and a couple other things. And then all of a sudden we look up and it's Robert. Robert is calling the stork with Invisigal together. Invisigal then wakes up. 'Twas all just a dream, not to worry. And we get to Robert getting ready for the day. Robert heads inside SDN with beef in hand and logs onto his computers to either A, videos about how to call the stork with audio fully on if you decided to cut Coupe, or a bat screech if you decided to cut Sonar. Some of your team is playing a prank on you for cutting somebody one way or another. Chase then mentions that this is going to be a hard time and that he would instead start by cutting everyone, starting with Invisigal. He then tells Robert they are planning on filling the empty slot on the team with either Phenomaman or Waterboy. It's a tough call because Waterboy is, well, Waterboy, but Phenomaman is currently clogging up traffic with his depression. So neither are exactly ringers, and both have a lot of work to do. We cut down to the workshop where Robert and Royd are working on the Mecha Man suit, and Vizzy asks if he's ever been a jerk in it while he is in the suit. That's not quite what she asks, but it is very close. Dano, I think I did a great job of making that PG.
I don't think he could have done a better job.
Yep.
I don't know that it was truly necessary to be part of the podcast, though. It is that we do get to respond to her in one way or the other. There is a choice.
Yep.
I've chosen two of the choices. They're both very funny.
Yes.
So yeah, no,
It's just one of those like very small moments that's so ridiculous and over the top, and Robert's response, like that, the kind of quip between the two of them
Yes.
is very, very fun.
yes.
The mech suit gets to go through a single motion as you choose it, and then it overheats. What did you guys choose as your motion, as your pose or your motion? I think it's superhero pose, or jumping jacks, or
it's
like
like
a
a
flip
sidekick, punch, or jumping jacks.
Yeah.
I chose
No,
jumping jacks.
I chose the hero pose. I was like, the hands on hip hero pose.
The hero pose is the next time we get to try this. So the first
Oh, is
time
it?
we do this, it's a motion of some sort. So we do jumping jacks, a kick, or a punch, I think. And then the second time we do this, it's superhero pose. It's one of 3 different poses, but I don't remember what the poses are. Yeah.
I forget what I did.
Yeah, they were all kind of lame. But the first time you do jumping jacks, which I found to be extremely funny.
I did jumping jacks as well. It was a great time. Robert is then called into Blonde Blazer's office, where she is getting ready for a fancy event and is trying to dress on for it. But it doesn't quite fit, and we can alert her to the wardrobe malfunction, or we can let it slide. She then asks if we would be willing to talk to Phenomenon in order to give him a pep talk. Phenomenon is in the parking lot, having crashed on someone's car. He mentions that he wishes he could be extinguished in the sun. Robert then comforts him in a variety of ways, and my favorite choice is Robert says, "Yeah, I've been there. One time I woke up and I was surrounded by this awful smell, and my head hurt, and it was black, and I thought I was in hell. Turns out I had drinking a bottle of mezcal, and somebody tossed me in a dumpster." And he went, "Ah, yes, you understand true sadness, for you are a very sad being, Robert Robertson."
This entire scene is so amazing because it starts with Blonde Blazer and Robert looking down from the second floor on Phenomenon in the parking lot, just lying on this car, having absolutely crunched it. And he looks at Blonde Blazer and he goes, "Is that your car?" She goes, "I don't drive," because she flies, obviously. And he goes, "That's going to be a weird insurance claim."
After we pep up Phenomenon a little bit, he jolts up, which sprays broken glass into our chest, and asks if we think there is someone else, and maybe somebody else is the reason why Blonde Blazer broke it off. Yes?
I just
All right,
wanted to
it's
let
so-
everyone know that I got to assign who gave what chapters, and I chose Storm Rage to do this chapter specifically for the next part because I've played this part through the game like 5 times. I've laughed out loud every time. So sorry,
So good.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Matt, did you have something?
No, like, so if you kissed Blazer in the first episode, you can admit here that you kissed Blazer.
Oh,
And it's an amazing scene where Phenomenon picks you up. I'm 2 for 2, by the way. Picks you
Don't
up.
stop him now. He's having such a good time.
I'm
He's
having a
pronouncing it all.
ball. He picks you up, kisses you, puts you back down, and says, "I now believe you had nothing to do with our breakup."
That's so good. So,
Yeah.
however we respond to him here, he ultimately is a little peppier, and the last thing that we ask him is to please stop buying edible arrangements because they're all melon, and Blonde Blazer has had enough. It then cuts to us picking the glass out of our chest in the bathroom. Invisigal tells us that she had a dream, and this dream was the opposite of dry, and it involved us. And currently, she is now imagining what it would be like to be with us. much like one windows shops a dress and just kind of imagines what they would look like in it. Instead, Invisigal's imagining what she would look like in a relationship with us. As Vizzy leans in to flirt a little bit more and Robert get back and forth, there's an immediate and then an explosion of diarrhea later. And Waterboy then goes, "Sorry, I tried to hold it in." And Robert says, I will try to censor it. I have to censor a lot of how it goes here.
Yeah.
Robert turns to Invisigal and goes, "Look, men's bathrooms are for picking shards of glass out of your chest and pooping, not whatever this is." And Invisigal turns invisible and runs away.
She doesn't
And the
quite runs
comedic
away.
timing of
She
everything.
she turns to the stall and goes, you ruined this, and then turns invisible and runs away.
God, and it's just the dichotomy, because there's like some genuine tension of like, yeah, maybe I am looking to try you on. Oh, well, how would you imagine seeing that? And then there's like a brief pause as you think they're either gonna fight or smooch, when all of a sudden the tension's just broken by the loudest diarrhea you've ever heard.
Sorry, he says, and then it's so funny. Oh God, I love it so much.
Continuing on, we head back to our desk. We give Beef a piece of ham from our sandwich, and we log on for our shift. Whoever we cut notices how awkward, or whoever we didn't cut notices how awkward it is. So if we cut Sonar, Coupe will talk about how awkward it is. If we cut Coupe, Sonar will talk about how awkward it is. The person that used to be a Synergy partner, so this would be Punch Up if you are Coop, or Malevola if you cut Sonar. They mentioned that it's fine, but they will be rude the entire shift. They will avoid certain calls, and they will eventually leave the call early, which makes this shift particularly difficult because you end up being down 2 heroes, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
During our lunch break after the first shift, Waterboy's throwing away some food, including yet another edible arrangement sent by Phenomenon, where Waterboy comments about how much he loves melons, and Robert just says, "Hey, you can take that," and he gets extremely excited about the melons. Waterboy accidentally flows away Flambebe's noodles. Flambebe, in return, throws food on Waterboy, and Robert tells him off for being rude to Waterboy. Robert then can either throw noodles or a protein shake at Flambebe. What did you guys choose?
What'd you choose, Matt?
I chose the protein shake at Flambebe. And it was great. It got all over his face and his hair. He's like, "If you got any in my hair, I will destroy you." And that's like, bad news for you, bro. There's some
Yeah,
in
it is
your hair.
dripping off your hair right now, actually.
Yeah.
I chose the noodles, and Blonde Blazer walks in. She goes, "Are those my noodles?"
Yeah, Blonde Blazer also walks in and like stops whatever is going to eventually happen.
My favorite is that if you choose the noodles, then you throw the noodles, and Blonde Blazer goes, "Those are my noodles." And Robert's like, "Yeah, he was just so hungry he couldn't wait." And then Blonde Blazer goes, "Well, the least you could do is go and buy me a sandwich to replace it." And Blonde Baby goes, "Yes, I'll do that." And the sheer rage that he has for Robert, but the respect that he has to have for Blonde Blazer is
Right.
such a beautiful, tense moment.
Ugh.
But Blonde Blazer comes in, de-escalates the situation with Flambebe, and then tells us we need to pick our next companion, Waterboy or Phenomenon. Who did you choose? And then will you tell us a little bit about the hero, their strengths and weaknesses along with them? Matt, we'll start with you.
I chose Waterboy because
Why did you choose Waterboy? And tell us about him.
because the Waterboy is great. Waterboy, he's nervous. He's really, honestly, when you first get him, he's terrible. He's like level 1. So the best part is when you send him out on missions, he levels up very quickly and you can specialize him very easily. So if you want to like focus out, like, so he's like by the end of the first for the first half day, he's like level 4, level 5 already, like from level 1. So you can spec him out. He's also very nervous, and they make fun of him terribly. And by the way, don't send him and Flambebe on a mission together. It just doesn't work. I did that on accident. It didn't work. Yeah.
Fantastic. Dano?
In my second playthrough, I chose Phenomoman, and he is quite hilarious. So he does not level up, I don't believe. You can specialize him via training, but I do not believe he levels up. Or if he does level up, he levels up very slowly.
He
Because
starts at level 12 and he sits there for the rest of the game.
yeah, so he's already a superhero. Does not need to level up, but he gets sad. He's a sad boy. When anyone fails, he'll like get into a depression. You can't choose him for 45 seconds.
It's so long. And even if he is sent on a mission already, if somebody fails a mission while he is actively on a different mission, he will leave that mission to go be depressed. It sucks.
But he has incredible superpowers, so he's incredibly good. He also flies everywhere super quick and finishes all the missions super fast. So he's an incredible superhero to have. Like, you can send him with just like one other person and then basically be fine with just about every single mission. But he does get very sad. It's the first mission you send him on. You send him with somebody else, and they start going to the mission, and then Phenomoman just flies back to headquarters, and they go, Phenomoman, where are you going? He goes, I thought I saw Blom Blazer. I was like, I'm at the office, Phenomoman. Oh, yes, of course.
My favorite thing about Phenomoman is, so as Dano mentioned, he has an incredibly quick recovery time. He flies everywhere. He's super fast, so he's great unless he gets depressed. When you level up, there are all sorts of different level up abilities. But for Phenomoman, you can either choose to increase the kind of recharge rate for anybody that he was on a call with, or the other level up is you can get him medicated. And if he's medicated, he no longer gets depressed, but he recharges at a normal rate.
Oh, so you don't get his super quick rate anymore?
Correct, but he's never depressed.
Okay. Interesting.
All right.
And the other quirk about Waterboy is that he will assign himself to calls if he is not assigned fast enough.
Right. Yeah. He'll just jump in the call. I'm like, all right, fine. You and Punch Up go. Let's go.
You can specialize that off of him as well, where he stops assigning himself to calls. Yeah.
This looks like a job for Water Boy.
Sometimes he's right though. Sometimes you go, you're right, and you send him, and then he just helps the mini kaiju back into the ocean.
So after our second shift, and throughout the rest of the shift, whoever we chose, whether it is Phenomoman or Waterboy, gets mercilessly mocked by the rest of our team, and it's very funny. At the end of the shift, Chase tells Robert not to screw it all up. We also have a brief scene from the people that we selected for our team. For Phenomoman, you meet him in the locker room, and Robert is finishing up with a shower, so he has a towel on his chest. And Phenomoman looks at him and tells him how much he means, and he goes, I'm going to make love to you now. And Robert says, nope, that's not necessary. That's not necessary. And then Phenomoman just hugs him very, very heavily. And like you can hear some bones cracking, and goes, now I have made love to you, Robert Robertson. And it's so silly. And he's just so happy to be on the team. Matt, will you talk about Waterboy's scene?
Yeah, so when you go to recruit Waterboy, he's in the shower at SDN in the locker room, wearing his full outfit, just his full rubber suit. Right?
It is waterproof.
Yeah, it's semi-waterproof, he says. And like he's washing off the noodles that Flambebe threw at him, and they're going. It's like, and then they zoom in and think, "Oh, that's going to clog." And he's like, "No, it's fine." He starts waffle stomping the noodles into the drain. It's like, "No, it's fine. It'll work. I'm using this. I'm doing this. It'll be fine." So yeah, it's great. And There's also a really sweet scene at the end of this episode with Waterboy at the end of the episode.
Was
At
this the part of the game where Phenomenon and Robert discuss Blonde Blazers and his relationship and how things didn't match up?
That's at the end of the episode before you do the big choice at the end.
But yes, would you like to talk about that scene? Because I think that'll be coming in right around here.
So I actually don't remember the context of it. Was it? I don't remember the context of their conversation and why they started having the conversation.
I believe it is like checking in on how he's doing, and that Robert is giving him advice that he should get back out there and try to find other people. And Phenomenal Man goes, "I should make love to many." He goes, "Well, maybe, but no, not. That's not what I was going for." And then mentions that the genitalia between Phenomenon and humans do not match up. And what that means, we do not know. We will never know, but they don't match up.
I'm like, is it like, is this like a duck situation? Is this like what is going on? I have so many questions.
So with Waterboy, you find him like in a closet somewhere. I think he's actually in the broom closet.
Is that the broom
like
closet?
Yeah, like he's sitting there eating the melon off the edible arrangement, because that's where apparently he lives there now. And it's basically Robert be like, dude, you need to like lighten up. You need to like not care what people think of you and just like go for it, because like that's your biggest problem is like you're thinking too much. You need to just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually it's a really nice scene. It's a really touching, like very supportive scene. Go ahead, Dan.
He is sitting in a bucket that is full of water, that is overflowing with water because he is leaking into the bucket. And the janitor comes in and looks at him and like sighs and then leaves the closet. It's fantastic.
We, at the end of our shift, after we checked out and there's nobody else around, we notice a ping on our computer that somebody is out of their zone. It's Invisigal, who is at a movie theater and tells us that she always sneaks into theaters, but is bummed that she can't also sneak in popcorn because people notice floating things of popcorn, and doesn't outright invite us, but it is clear that that is what she wants. Blonde Blazer, at the same time, texts us and asks if we want to have dinner with her. Who did you choose? What scene did you get? Matt.
I chose Invisigal. So she's talking. Robert asked her, so what's this movie about? Like, what's the first movie about? So I'm caught up. And like he leaves, shows up at the theater while she's still giving the monologue, and like gives her like with all the snacks, some popcorn, some
he spends $86 on snacks. There's popcorn, candy, soda. It's a lot of food.
It's a lot of food, and also the movie ticket because he has to pay to get in. And then he then offers her was it the sour, or was it this it's a sour, some sort of sour candy. What is it called?
I have no idea. I can't remember that specific.
Yeah, it's like whatever this. It's like, do you like sour? I have an important question. Do you like sour gummies? And she's like, I love sour gummies. And then it moves on from there. It's a very sweet scene.
It's a very cute scene. Dano?
Who'd you pick, Stormrage?
I also did Invisigal, but I did Blonde Blazer last time, so I do know the scene pretty well.
So I chose Invisigal my first playthrough, but Blonde Blazer on my second one, and so I can talk about Blonde Blazer. So I say yes. I'd love to go on go out for dinner, and Robert then tells Invisigal to have fun at the movie, and puts down the headset, and she goes, "You have fun too, bye." And then you could tell she's disappointed and a little bit bummed, and then kind of goes about her day. And then we go out to dinner to a very prestigious restaurant called The Park at the business park we work at. Mm-hmm. So they just go outside, and she has a picnic table set up with takeout spaghetti and red cups with wine. And Robert's like, wow, this is just so fancy. And she goes, oh, of course, only Michelin stars for me. And then he drops some like, middle-aged white man, fact about how, Michelin stars were created by the Michelin Tire Company to get people to drive further out and use their tires. And she's like, I don't know what to do with that information.
Which is the correct response, really.
Yeah.
She at this point takes off her necklace and reveals that
That is correct.
She also does not have superhero powers, but is actually the necklace creates Blonde Blazer, and she's very self-conscious about this because as Robert points out, so what, you're just 2 inches shorter now? And she's like, I'm also not blonde. And he goes, so? Because nothing else has really changed. So it's kind of a very, very funny thing to be self-conscious about because she's still very pretty and still fairly tall. So so they sit down, they have dinner, and then they look up to the windows, and there is Waterboy cleaning the windows. And she's like, do you think he can go home? And he goes, is he allowed to? She's like, yes, I'm not running a sweatshop here. And she goes, Waterboy, go home. And he just waves at her and then keeps cleaning the windows. He's a wonderful, sad little boy.
Waterboy simply loves SDN and being a superhero so much that he will never leave.
So I've played through with both Phenomenal and Waterboy, and honestly, it's impossible to pick between two of them because they are both really fun characters. Like, it's not like, oh, Waterboy's so sweet and it's so fun to watch him like grow up and become a big boy superhero. So of course he's better than Phenomenal Man. But then Phenomenal Man is also fantastically fun and quirky and ridiculous. Like, it just doesn't understand human society. And then at one point talks about how hard it is for him to live in human society because of how he looks. And they're like, what do you mean how you look? You look perfect. He goes, yes, I know. When in Phenomenal Man society, looking the way I do is awful. So whenever someone says that I look good, it is the biggest insult. And then Robert can respond like, what are you talking about? You look great. And he goes, Robert, that is not okay. I will bring it up with HR.
More specifically, because the line that he responds after Robert says, but you look great, it got me cackling so bad. He said, Blonde Blazer, Robert is bullying me.
That's what it is. Thank you. It was so good. It's just, both of them are fantastic in their own way. It's truly, because most time with these games, like, you feel like there's a right or a wrong. And you just feel like it's always right. So it's good.
Phenomenal Man is the story about somebody that was at the peak and has cratered and getting them up back to that peak where they probably belong. Waterboys is the story of somebody who started from nothing and grew into something. And both are really fascinating and really well done and also just full of heart. I agree, Dano. I think that there really isn't a right or wrong choice on this one. They're both great.
Chapter 5, Team Building. Is the name of the episode, I believe. So we begin the chapter with Robert at the gym and a flashback. Mecha Man is standing outside a burning building and gets the all clear, and he starts running into the burning building. Cut to Robert running on the treadmill and running out of breath. Robert's then jumping rope. Flashback to Mecha Man inside the building where he makes a superhero landing, and he starts fighting Flambebe. And then he interspersed in with a punching bag. Mecha Man gets knocked down, and we cut to Robert on the bench press. He adds more weight and struggles as flashbacks continue to fight as he's losing the fight with Flambebe. Back to now, Flambebe comes in with no eyebrows and asks mockingly, do you need some help? Yes, go ahead, Storm Rage.
One thing that I really want to highlight, because this scene was so beautiful from a cinematography perspective.
Yes. This whole episode actually is, in general, perfect. It's just
so
beautifully shot.
Because the way that it functions is that when Robert is working on the punching bag, and then he'll make contact with the punching bag, and then it'll transpose that to that exact same pose as Mecha Man. So it's a very fluid, like 1-to-1 between the two scenes, and it cuts at the perfect time. The music swells great. God, it's such a good intro for Chapter 5.
Yep. Go ahead, Dan.
After Flambebe helps you out with or helps Robert out with the weights here, you have a choice of how to kind of respond to Flambebe. And if you just genuinely thank him, at least that's the choice that I chose. If you just go, yeah, hey, thanks for the help. He goes, yeah, that's what I thought. You're welcome, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. You can mock him as like, yeah, I'm a normie. He needs a babysitter, and like he just goes off on you. It's great because he's like, this episode's perfect in my opinion. This is one of my favorite episodes. They're all good episodes, honestly. Anyway, he chides Robert that he should. We go back to the episode. He chides Robert that he shouldn't lift without a spotter since he doesn't have superpowers, and normies need babysitters. Cut to the choice. He's also squatting all the weight and showing off. It's great. You know, Flambebe says he's not to get hurt because he is needed behind the desk. Robert presses the issue, asking how Flambebe lost his eyebrows. And Flambebe says he lost it in a real fight with a real buddy, with a real hero. You know, he's regretting that decision. And
At
Robert
a
says,
bar.
At a bar,
Where we
yeah.
spilled water on him.
Yep.
or
alcohol.
Or alcohol and burn him off.
Yep. Sure, buddy. All right. So then after we get out of the gym, we give Beef a pet and we log into the work. Your crew is talking about how bad the vibes in town are here between the refinery and the harbor. It just stinks. Robert's in a bad mood and tells people just to cut the chatter very directly. It's like, just shut the bleep up. There's then this whole section, my favorite subplot in this is like the whole middle school talent competition and like the ensuing fight that so you send two heroes to judge a talent competition, and then you send two more heroes to break up a fight, and then you go send 3 or 4 more heroes to talk about anti-bullying at the middle school. It is amazing.
I've never connected that through line before. That's very good.
Yeah. So that after you go through this, like that's basically the only main subplot in this series of missions. So then they cut to, after you finish the shift at lunch, Robert is microwaving a couple of burritos, and Malevolent and Prism are hanging out in the break room. They're trying to figure out which superhero he used to be. There's $936 on the line, and Robert drops a pun in the process and they throw a coffee cup at him. It just shatters against the wall. And they comment about his quick reflexes and the fact he talks too much and trying to narrow down which hero he used to be. Go ahead, Dan.
So he says that's a very specific number. Speaking about 936, do you know why it's that specific number? Do they ever explain that number, or is that a joke I don't get? Okay, it's just that 936. Okay,
it's just $936.
I wonder if it's like a callback to another another Critical Role bit or something.
It's possible. So then Robert heads into the SDN garage and works on his Mega Man suit for a bit. And he has a conversation with Chase about the Red Ring and Shroud and how, like, what's going to happen when he encounters Shroud again. What are you going to do? Are you going to kill him? Are you not sure what you're going to do? Are you saying, are you a hero? What did you all choose?
I chose that I would not kill him because we're heroes and we don't do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Storm Rage?
I did as well. I'm trying to go ultimate good guy hero route this time, and so I did that.
I said I'm not sure. It was interesting. I'm not sure I'd do that again. Either way, Chase tells you to think about it for when it is time. When it's actual time for that to happen. Robert and Chase head back to the log into the second gameplay portion, and the main discussion here is Robert's secret identity and the $936. After the first call, the power goes out and the system reboots. There's a super cool twist on the hacking minigame where you have little charge stations where you use to fill in power spots to open up paths. And also that you learn about how the power spots can also eliminate the antivirus if your little icon is charged up. Ton of calls in this section after you open up every area. Like there's 3 different power areas, and every time you open one up, a ton of calls come in. And so basically it's a long, busy day on the shift. There's a ton, after the shift where the crew invites Robert to the Sardine. It's a villain bar. Go ahead, Storm Rage.
Real quick, piece of advice here. You don't get calls from a section until you turn the power back on, and you will not miss calls until the power is turned back on. So finish all the calls in one section before immediately activating the next. Make sure all of your heroes are ready to go, so that way you have the best chance at taking on each of those sections.
Yes. All right. So Robert doesn't think he'll fill it. So they they invite Robert to the Sardine. It's a villain bar. Robert doesn't think he'll fit in, but with the blue polo, they'll just say something to let him in. You know how he's the biggest perv this side of town. You arrive, and Gollum is waiting outside because he's too big to go in. It's kind of sad. We ask him what he needs. He's like, a couple of drinks. And we're like, you got it. We enter, and we eventually enter, and it's a real rough dive bar vibes. There's villains all over the place. You meet up with Invisigal at the bar. If you chose her in the previous episode, talks about the date. So we talked about the Sour Patch Kids and how that's going to move on to whiskey. And that's how eventually at the third date, that's dinner. She makes a joke about what you can snack on later, or how can be real, like how she was quite in the theater. So now maybe next time you get to hear how loud she can get. Robert
she's
asks,
singing karaoke, of course.
Sure,
Of course.
Yes.
yeah. Robert orders 2 fancy whiskeys, and Malevolent and Prism make it 4. Punch Up calls for 5. Robert changes the order and asks for 9 crappy whiskeys, which everybody appreciates. The whiskeys arrive. Robert grabs a whole pile of them and avoids the glowing snake guy, who's been watching him ever since he came in. Robert passes off the whiskeys to the crews, and there's a kind of cute little scene with everybody. Waterboy's there, and he's like super just happy to be there. He's just so excited. Flambebe is going over the karaoke menu and asks if he would make him fool of himself if he sang Whitney Houston. Robert asks him, "Are you Whitney Houston?" Which is the correct answer.
Flambebe goes, "Thank you, good point."
And he's so mad that Robert makes a good point because he goes, F. He's right.
Sonar is just happy to be happy to still be on the team. He also enjoys a little nose candy later in the bathroom. Robert pops outside. Gollum has 2 drinks, and the bouncer is like, "Hey, you can't do that." And Robert hands him a drink, and the bouncer's like, "Yeah, it's fine." That's a cute little scene. Robert heads back in and sits with Invisigal. Talks about that everybody can tell Robert's a hero. He has that stink on him. He's the enemy.
He's also wearing an SDN shirt, so
Yeah. Yeah, he has to get past that bias. He thinks the hero's messed up. He get past the bias that they think that he's the hero that messed up their life. We zoom in on the cigarette. We flash back to Mecha Man's fight with Flambebe. It culminates with a standoff where we see Mecha Man cut off Flambebe's ring finger and pinky finger. And they cut right back to Flambebe on karaoke, missing his ring finger and pinky finger. Flambebe singing a cover of Meredith Brooks' Bitch. But it's about Robert and his hopes and dreams and his genitalia as the subject of the song. Robert comes clean to Vizzy about the eyebrows as well. Vizzy tells Robert, "Well, we all pay for who you used to be. Sooner or later we get it over, and the sooner we get over it, get a fresh start." Go ahead, Stormrage.
I cannot believe that is the amount of short shrift that you gave the karaoke song.
Yeah.
It is so good, though.
It's
even
perfect.
It is great.
It is Flambebe's character doing. He's not doing like a cover. He is doing Flambebe singing this song at a karaoke bar, and so there's moments where he's like, "Guitars hello,"
Yeah,
and and he changes all the words to make fun of Robert, and it's so funny. It's one of the best parts of the entire game.
Because he has an erectile dysfunction.
It doesn't even work anyway.
All right. Yeah, this whole, you need to play this to appreciate how good this scene is, honestly.
Yeah, just find it on YouTube. It's absolutely hilarious. If
It's
you haven't
worth
played
it.
the game,
Yeah.
play the game. Actually,
Yeah, it's on YouTube, but yeah, the whole game's on YouTube. It's great. All right, so a man with mech arms and really, really short arms is mad that someone invited the hero to a villain bar. He tosses Robert and grabs Invisigal, and someone comes up behind Robert and smacks him in the back of the head with a pool cue. Cut to black and fade into stars. Robert's laying on a wall of a patio of a taco fast food restaurant. Waterboy enters with 2 trays full of tacos, and everybody grabs food. Robert asks for his 3 triple crunch tacos, and Malevolent hands him a soda. As he's about to stab the soda, we cut back to the bar where where you see Robert stab the guy with the arms in with a is it a dart? It's darts, right? He stabs the guy with
think so. Something along those lines. Something small.
Right. Prism's on the stage as the fight continues. She temporarily blinds a guy, but the guy goes, "He's temporarily blinded me."
No,
Go ahead, Dan.
So she blinds him, and he goes, "Oh no, she temporarily blinded me." And she goes, "Who said anything about temporary?"
You blind forever.
Yeah. When the fight continues, we cut back to the taco place, and Robert gets a burrito. Vizzy says it's the same. It's like, why are we complaining about what we're getting? It's the same 5 ingredients remixed anyway, which is the truth. She tosses him a hot sauce, which hits him square in the face as he tries to reach for it. And obviously he's concussed or drunk. He splits open. It cuts to real close up of him splitting open the sauce, and then it cuts back to the bar where he's ripping like an electronic thing out of a woman's arm.
Yep.
It's, continues. The rest of the TZ team are involved. Punch Up is running around punching everyone, including Robert, in the groin. He's only punching dicks.
So this is where you find, I forgot that it's in this scene. This is where you find out where his name is, because it's just Punch Up, because he's 3'3" with insane strength, just punching up. Just punching everybody in that central groin area. And it's so good. It's such a good reveal for such an insane joke.
So after that, we cut back to the taco place, and Punch Up is licking his hands, licking his fingers from the tacos, and Prism is asked, "Hey, did you wash your hands after punching everybody?"
And he goes, "Oh, I wonder why they tasted kind of salty."
Malevolent then grabs the burrito from Robert and thanks him for saucing it up already, hands him the 3 crispy tacos. He's about to take a bite, zoom in close up on the mouth, and you just as he's about to take the bite, cut back to the bar where Robert cuts the thumb off a guy from the knuckle.
Bites, I think. Bites
it off with his hand, spits it out, then gets dragged into the bathroom where the snake guy with the laser snake guy, I'm not sure what whatever, is about to beat down on Robert, but Robert gets the upper hand, knocks him out, and makes his way out. Meanwhile, there's Sonar in the bathroom, enjoying a little candy up his nose. Malevolent throws the guy outside using one of her portals, and that involves Gollum, and Gollum just has the happiest look on his face as he pulls his earbuds out. It's great. Enjoys the fight. Go ahead, Storm Rage.
One thing that I kind of missed the first playthrough is that they talk a lot about the Red Ring, and maybe it's obvious to everybody, but we have a couple dealings with the Red Ring in the first few dispatches, or in the last few dispatches. And then the Red Ring is led by Shroud, the big bad that killed our dad that we had to fight with at the very beginning. And every villain, you could tell if they're Red Ring because they have some sort of tech that is glowing red on them.
Oh.
So if they are glowing red, they are part of the Red Ring, which works for Shroud.
Gotcha.
Powered by Shroud.
Yes, powered by Shroud.
Red Ring, which I assume is in reference to the Xbox Red Ring of Death, where you get the red ring on your Xbox and then it never turns on ever again.
I hope that's the case.
Anyway, so there's this great scene where they're all like teaming up on the guy, the mechanical arms guy, and then Invisigal and Robert break both of his arms at the end. They cut back to the taco place. Robert balls up his wrappers and tosses it and completely misses the trash can. Robert says the teams are basically the whole scene of dialogue. Robert says the whole team is heroes now. So they don't start fights; they finish them. Everyone kind of groans at the terrible, dad pun. They ask about the beef between Robert and the Red Ring, and they ask who he really is, and you make a choice here. What did y'all choose?
So you can choose to either say I'm Mecha Man or I'm Robert. I really wanted to say I'm Robert this time, and I want to play through this game one more time after this, and I think I am gonna say I'm Robert in the last one, but I said I'm Mecha Man here.
I said I'm
Dan?
Mecha Man too. I said it with both my playthroughs. There are some things I can't do where I'm like, I'm trying different things out, but I also don't want to be a not good person. So like I'm still playing the hero and I'm still playing like the good boss, but I'm just trying out different choices. There are some things where I'm like, I think this just leads to me kind of being an unlikable person, and I don't really want to do that. That doesn't sound super fun to me. So yeah,
All
I
right,
chose
so-
that I'm Mecha Man.
All right, so you chose to reveal. I chose to reveal as well. And everyone's kind of shocked. Flambebe gets really upset and tries to incinerate Robert. Gollum jumps in front and protects Robert. And then Waterboy, who's on my team, douses him to stop his powers.
Or
He
if
gets
Waterboy isn't there, Malevola throws a soda at him.
Yep. Eventually, he gets his power back, and he flies off and just is upset. And then at this point, everybody reveals who their true names are. You know,
Can
Go
I
ahead.
take the other one? Because I know I read the other one because I was really fascinated in it, and I really like this story. So when I first initially saw I'm Mecha Man versus I'm Robert, I viewed it as telling the truth of who you are and lying.
Mm.
But I think the story is much more nuanced than that. The
Yeah.
story is like how Robert identifies, not necessarily whether or not he's telling the truth. If he comes forward and says, I'm Mecha Man, the idea is that that's still his major identity. When he
Yep.
says, I'm Robert, he's not saying that to lie. He's saying that to move forward, to be like, this is who I am right now. This is the person that you need me to be. Everything else is in the past. And I like that the framework is not, I'm trying to keep my identity secret. It is, I am being honest with who I am. I'm not Mecha Man anymore. I'm Robert.
Mhm.
And I think that makes that choice much more interesting than I was worried it actually
Yeah,
was.
it's actually when I was doing the write up, I was watching a gameplay and they chose this one, and I'm like, okay, this is really really good. So you
Mhm.
tell them you're Robert. It's like, this is who I am right now. This is who I need to be right now. I'm Robert. Robert and Flambebe shake hands and make up and become friends. He says his name is Chad. Vizzy, real name is Courtney. Sonar is Victor because he always wins, and he's still probably a little buzzed on his nose candy. Prism is named Alice. Gollum is named Bruno, which is great. Punch Up is Column, and Malevola is
Malevola.
Malevola Gibb. So
I do love that for like, in this scene we learn who the real supervillain of the game is, and it's not Shroud, it's not anyone, it's that Robert has fought. It's Sonar. Because Sonar is just a crypto bro, and they are the true villains.
Yep.
He's like, there's an Elon Musk stand-in in this game where you have to keep on going and rescuing the rich billionaire Elon Musk from like his own like idiocy.
Yeah, it's crazy how often you have to rescue him.
Yeah.
He basically employs half of SDN.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Sonar is obsessed with him. Like, thinks he's
Yeah.
just the greatest thing ever. Just like crypto bros love their Elon Musk. It's it's really funny. Like, they're not even pretend. It's like, hey, look at this toolbox and his toolbox hero.
Yep.
all right, on to chapter 6.
I've got
and there's but more importantly, there's an amazing end credits song. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Love that.
At the end of chapter
So
5.
got chapter 6. We begin with Robert in the Mecha Man suit and the entire Z team in Royd's laboratory. Apparently, or just Vizzy is in the laboratory.
If you just say I'm Robert, then the rest of the team doesn't know and they don't join you.
Oh,
And so instead
gotcha.
it's
Okay,
just
that makes
Invisigal and Royd.
Okay. So with my playthrough, the entire Z team's waiting in Roy's laboratory for the final test of the mecha suit. Robert thanks them for their support and is really touched that they are there. And then they all admit that they're just there to confirm that he is actually Mecha Man before paying up to Prism, the winner of the bet. Everything seems to be going well until Vizzy comments on the purple smoke that is coming out of the suit. Robert's like, yeah, I thought that was a bit too much at first, but I kind of like it. And then Royd looks up and goes, what purple smoke? And at this point, Robert realizes something that is terribly wrong, tries to get the suit to stop, can't. Royd has to rush into the room to try to rescue him, and the suit explodes, landing Robert in the hospital. After a 15-hour nap, he wakes up, has a chat with Chase, who chastises him about Vizzy, and leaves the infirmary to find Blonde Blazer doing her best to dispatch the Z-Team, but admits that she has a new respect for what Robert does. Robert takes the headset, and they all thank him for coming back, and it was like, I don't know if it was a good idea to send Malevola out to that children's youth group as a substitute teacher. Because she's like a literal demon, like horns, tail, like all the full 9 yards. So after a very successful shift where someone who will remain nameless, it was me, performed better than 90% of other players, Robert heads home with a nice little bottle of booze from the Z-Team.
Hey,
yes, Stormwave?
Hey,
Yeah?
I also did it the second or third time around, okay? We got there eventually.
I was 90% on this one, 90% on Chapter 5, and 20% on Chapter 4. I was really bad in Chapter 4.
I think I was 90, 80, and 50. So pretty close.
I was 50 the first time I went through, I was pretty good, like 70. The second time I did it, I was like 10, and I was like, what in the world? It wasn't that bad. And then the third time I was 50%, because I played through it again before this one, so I played through the chapters again. But
I'm
but yeah.
consistently 30%.
There you go. Robert heads home with a nice bottle of booze from the Z-Team. They tell him to start to drink this when the meds wear off. So we cut to Robert laying on the floor in his apartment in his underwear with Beef when Robert and Beef notice someone walking up to his door. After a tense moment, a familiar interdimensional portal opens up, and Royd, Malevola, and Invisigal walk through. Royd is carrying a dispatch terminal, and Malevola is carrying a lamp. Robert asks what is going on, and Vizzy tells him that this is a housewarming party, and that she told everyone to bring a lamp or something. The rest of the Z-Team, minus Flambebe, who has been MIA since learning that Robert is Mecha Man, plus Chase and Blonde Blazer show up to the apartment. Every member of the Z-Team did their part and brought Robert a very nice housewarming present of a lamp. So he has a whole bunch of different desk lamps and then one nice like chandelier lamp from Malevola.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, the chandelier lamp is great. And I love the way that Malevola is just holding it with her tail. It is just like, it's perfect.
She goes, where should I put this? And Vizzy's like, over there.
I also love in Robert's apartment, it's basically completely empty. There's a counter that has nothing on it. There's literally no furniture. There is a board, and on the board has newspaper clippings that are stories of Mecha Man in the past, specifically his family, as well as the coverage about him being beaten and Shroud killing his dad. And Vizzy looks at it and goes, man, this is really messed up. I'm pretty into this. Why am I into this?
So it's time for the grand reveal. It turns out that Vizzy has figured out how Robert can be Mecha Man again and knows what happened to the Astral Pulse. That is the thing that they cannot recreate and the reason why his suit keeps exploding. Well, while it kept on failing and then finally exploded. It turns out that it wasn't destroyed when Shroud blew up the mecha suit, but was lost and then later found by a team of low-level villains who tried and failed to use it, then sold it to another team of low-level villains who tried and failed to use it, who then sold it to another team of low-level villains, and so on and so forth, until it was eventually sold to the Yachties, a team of low-level villains with a fancy base down by the docks. There is a very funny yet inappropriate joke here by Malevola. I encourage you to play through this game so that you can enjoy this joke. Vizzy wants to go down to the docks immediately to retrieve the Astral Pulse, but right now, Chase points out that in a rather rude and drunken manner that a bunch of drunken Z-teamers isn't going to be retrieving anything, Blonde Blazer tells the team that no one is going anywhere without planning first. Yes, that is it, Storm Rage. Robert can choose here to support Blazer, Vizzy, or point out that the entire Z-team isn't good enough for this mission. What did you guys decide to do? Say here.
I sided with Vizzy. I said, let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, I said the same thing. Like, it's like, this is our one opportunity. Let's go.
I sided with Blonde Blazer and said we can go ahead and do this after we did some planning. It turns out not mattering whatsoever anyways, because Chase says that this isn't a job that Vizzy can handle anyways, because this is a job for heroes, and Vizzy is no hero. Vizzy gets mad, turns invisible, hits Chase, and then leaves the party. At this point, we can choose to end the party or make a quip. I chose to end the party. Did you guys choose to end the party as well, I assume?
Yeah, I don't think that there's a real way. I think no matter what you choose, they
party
continue.
still
Everybody
ends.
leaves.
Okay.
Because you're going to be like, shots? And people are like, no, not shots.
That is a funny response, though. So the party ends here, and just as everyone is about to leave, they hear a knock on the door. Robert goes to the door, expecting to see Vizzy, and gets punched in the face by Flambebe, who is holding a lamp as a housewarming present. He apologizes to Robert on the floor and goes, I may have to do that once a month or so until I get over this. Yeah, Matt.
His eyebrows grew back.
Did they?
His eyebrows were back for the scene.
Oh, funny. Funny.
So
I do like the busted tooth version of him. I think that's my favorite canonical thing of what happens.
So
to him,
silly.
'cause it's so funny. So everyone leaves, and Robert cleans up his apartment, takes out the trash, and finds Chase sitting on the sidewalk. He asks Chase what he's doing there, and he goes, all these apartments look the same, and I ended up walking into that guy's apartment by accident. And he goes, leave, you weirdo. And Robert goes, he said he was sorry. Robert and him go up into the apartment. Chase says he has come to apologize. They go up for a drink and a chat. Robert tells Chase about how Vizzy almost quit during his first week on the job, how she told him that she believes that she was born with villain powers and felt that she couldn't be a hero because of her powers. Chase kind of has a little bit of an epiphany here when he realizes that he was just judging Vizzy the same way everybody else has always judged her, and that he really wasn't being a hero at all here, but was instead just kind of making assumptions and not making anything better, really. Yeah, Storm Rage?
I love this scene so much because Chase is very much I'm going to be rude, I'm going to talk into your face, I'm going to say what I think, and I don't really care, because what he says is generally correct and something that we should listen to. And he's been a mentor figure for Robert for a very long period of time. He clearly has experience, and to see him understand, not just admit like, hey, I was wrong, sorry, but understand his mistake and be like, oh, this is more complicated than I thought. Because Robert's like, yeah, but imagine what I would be if I didn't have my dad, or if I didn't have you, if I didn't have all these things and I was pushed into this life. And it was like, yeah, sometimes consequences in the way that people live will determine certain things that they do. And that sucks. And it's not always because that person was evil, but because the consequences push them into certain actions. And it's such a well-written scene. I love how Chase and Robert handle this, and it's so, so good.
Yeah, it's a very fun little scene. So Robert goes behind the kind of like the counter in his kitchen to go get another round of drinks, and sees a notification blinking on the dispatch terminal that Royd brought in to help them find the location of the Astral Pulse. It looks like Vizzy went to retrieve the Astral Pulse on her own anyways, without any help, and has got herself into a pretty serious pickle, because in her words, every bad guy in this city has also figured out where the Astral Pulse is. So it's basically a giant fight between Vizzy, the Red Ring, and every other low-level villain trying to steal the Astral Pulse. So Robert is talking to Vizzy with the speaker on, so Chase also can kind of hear what's going on. He helps her we have to do some fancy hacking scenes to help her kind of fight through the different villains, help her get up to the captain's cabin where the Astral Pulse is, and then hack into the safe to get the Astral Pulse. And if we're successful at all the hacks, she retrieves the Astral Pulse. And I think if we fail any of them, she doesn't get the Astral Pulse. Is that correct? Yes, Matt.
No, I failed the last gatekeep on the safe, and she's like, "Yo, yeah, I got it anyway."
Yeah, there's slight differences long term, but not in the scene. She will always end up with
Gotcha.
it regardless, but there are consequences later for how much you helped her or not.
Gotcha. Sounds good. So Vizzy is leaving with the Astral Pulse, and as she is exiting, the lights go out, and she's like, Robert, what's going on? And he's like, hey, chill out. I'm going to help you get out of here. Just keep going. She walks carefully down some stairs. At this point, someone's eyes opens up. It is Shroud, and Robert's like, Vizzy, run. Shroud is there. Shroud hits her, throws down a smoke grenade so she can't breathe. She loses her inhaler, and Robert's like, stay calm. He's just going to mess with you. And then the smoke grenade kind of goes off. Shroud kicks her inhaler away. And it seems like this is maybe the end for Invisigal. Yes, Stormrage.
And he keeps kicking it just within range to give her enough hope that she's going to keep surviving.
Mhm.
And it's such an insane villain move. And it's so well played because it's so calm and it's such a simple thing. She's reaching for her inhaler as Shroud is slowly walking from one side, kicking it to the other, and they take such a good amount of time with this.
So at this point, Robert is obviously a little panicked, and he looks up and he sees Chase holding his famous superhero pose. Chase looks at Robert and says his catchphrase, keep up. Then he uses his superpower to race to the docks and rescue Vizzy. Chase gets Vizzy out of danger, takes 3 steps, and collapses. His powers have finally caught up to him. Robert runs out of his apartment to get to Chase, and we hear Vizzy on the monitor crying, Chase, wake up. Chase, wake up. No, please. Chase, please, please, please. And that is where the episode ends. And it's a doozy.
It is a doozy.
I'll talk about this more in 3 questions. This is my favorite moment in the game. This is the moment that sold it to me. It's a perfect moment. It encapsulates so many different themes, ideas, and it's just so well done. It's a moment that could have faltered in any number of ways, from being too heavy-handed to being not serious enough to not logically tracking, and it doesn't fail on any of them. It's just good. It's so good.
Yeah, I love Robert looking up and then seeing Chase, and it's a very cool pose. It's like a sprinter's pose, and we see it earlier on in the game when we have flashbacks to Chase babysitting Robert, and he using his catchphrase then as well. And then we see that it goes to a cutscene, and it's Chase running through the city, and it's this really cool shot of like Chase just like head on his face, and you could just see him like just racing through the city, and it's so cool. And then
good.
I love that they only show the terminal version of Vizzy and Chase, because it kind of makes it seem so much further away. Like you cannot help them. There is no help to be had. This is, all you can do is watch this play out. And it's just there on the monitor of Vizzy realizing that her actions, she thought they would just hurt her, and instead they have hurt somebody else who she never intended to hurt. I think it was just super cool. Super, super cool.
Taste my grilled cheese.
Munch.
What's our first good, Matt?
The end credits song to episode 5. It's the full version of the Meredith Brooks cover
It's so funny.
of Flambébé singing about Robert being a bitch and just a bitch. Anyway, what's
Yeah,
not so
keep
good?
saying it, Matt. Don't worry. Say it more, please. Do. No.
Yeah, a bleep, a bleep, a bleep.
I've got the not so good, and this is serious, and so I do want to take this serious. I do really believe that the racism in episode 5 is completely and totally unacceptable, and I'm not sure why they did that, because mud golems are people too, and they should be allowed to go into bars. And the fact that they would not allow Golem to go into the bar because he is a large mud golem, I think is really just it's not okay. It's not okay. I think in 2026 we need to have open and honest conversations about this kind of stuff. It's
Right.
And I appreciate Robert's strength of going in and breaking those bars rules and getting him not one drink but two. That golem drinks by throwing both glasses in his mouth and crunching on them.
Chewing. Yeah.
Dano, I'm so mad at you right now because I had not checked your not so good until just now, and I feverishly started Googling. So I was like, what did I miss? I'm probably part of the problem. I didn't notice any racism in this. There are depictions of people of various races that seem to be honest to their experiences, but I don't know. What did I miss? And then you come in with a stupid goof about Golem, and here I am worried that I'm secretly a racist.
What's our best good?
The moment of Trackstar collapsing after he's gotten Vizzy out and Vizzy is calling to him. The small moment is something that got me in a really specific way. Because I imagine many of us have been in situations where it's, oh, something terrible is happening. I need to move now. And Robert is, he knows that he has to do something, so he just starts moving. And then he picks up Beef, and then he keeps running around. He goes, God, where are my keys? And that single moment of, where are my keys? Just like, Robert, there's 3 things in your apartment. It's not hard to find your keys. But in those moments of elevated stress where you can't think clearly and you're just looking for any semblance of some control, where are my keys is such a good encapsulation of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why that small moment played for me so well, but Aaron Paul's voice acting, the animation, and the line, just such a small moment that really resonated with me.
It was very cool.
Agreed.
It was
Yeah.
really, really well written. Like this entire game
Yeah.
is really, really well written.
He asks each traveler 5 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
Matt, what are you liking so far?
Some of the special abilities you train up as you like for the heroes. The fact like Gollum can like if you have like a mission where you can send 4 people, but you only really want to send 2, and you send Gollum, he can fill in the extra spots. Prism being able to copy one of the other hero to her left, which is a great ability. So like
So
you just
powerful.
it's so good. Like you have like if you train it up enough, like he'll have like 2 of that one hero that you just copy and just have full ability on those stats. Malevola Punch Up being able to just insert himself into like a full party. Sometimes like it's like you have like a solo mission, you can also have Punch Up go with him now. It's great. Malevola being able to heal injured heroes and just everything. She just makes the entire party better. She's like literally the lead of a bunch of my synergies, and she's great. I just really like some of the I really like some of the options, and just in the gameplay section are really fun. Stormrage, what are you liking so far?
If you have Phenomenon and Punch Up, and specifically you have cut Coupe, Punch Up will be Phenomenon's synergy partner. And they play Magic the Gathering together, guys. They play Magic the Gathering off shift. And Punch Up, the line is very, very simple. Phenomenon goes, so, Punch Up, are you ready for another game after our shift? Punch Up goes, yeah, I got a new black-green deck. I think it's going to really give you some trouble. And it's such a dumb thing, but I love that those two, of all people, play Magic the Gathering
That is so
together.
good.
Dano, what do you like it so far?
The story is very, very good. It's really easy to get invested in all the characters, and none of the choices feel wrong. Both Waterboy and Phenomenon are quirky in their own wonderful ways. You feel bad for cutting either Sonar or Coop, though Coop more than Sonar because Sonar's a crypto bro, but you still feel bad. And then both Vizzy and Blonde Blazer have their own cute love stories and their own, like, both are fun and interesting and good. Like in a lot of these games, like there is a certain love interest that is better than the other ones. A story is better told or something like that. But Vizzy and Blonde Blazer are very different, and it's written in a way that is, they're both very interesting and very fun in their own ways. So yeah, the way that they wrote this game, the game is different but never bad. Like you make choices and the game is different, but you don't feel like you made a bad choice, which I think is really cool and really fun. What are you struggling with, Matt?
Upgrading the hero stats. I'm not sure if I want to specialize like on like 2 or 3 different like areas where like one like where they want to be more specialized, or just make them overall good. So they just go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna wait until you were done. Go ahead and finish up.
So go on any mission, like we're make it overall good, so they kind of fit in any mission that you send them on. Or if you want to specialize, be like have top right, bottom left, and just maybe send both those and get more coverage. Go ahead, Dan.
Do you want to know what the answer is?
Yeah.
So the answer is to have teams of 2 that cover for each other's holes. So that's how you do it. I haven't actually done it, but I was, when I was first kind of trying to figure out, because I was kind of stressed with like I don't want a game to not be fun because I made poor choices when there are no respecs. So I always get kind of stressed about that. And so I did Google it. I did kind of see some like best of strats and that kind of stuff and how to do things. And it was like, oh, this is what you do. You kind of plan it out this way. And you can like actually like have build guides and stuff for you to build it out. I haven't used any of them because the game doesn't punish you for doing poorly. So I'm like, well, there's no reason for me to worry about it. But if you want to min-max it, you min-max by using the synergistic teams and having them cover each other's weaknesses essentially. So.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like it's a struggling with, but it's also, it really doesn't matter because the gameplay portion of the game only matters for your personal ranking on like the screen. That's the only thing that matters. It doesn't affect the story at all.
There are some moments later on in Chapter 8 that are affected by basically all of the other dispatches that you have done up until that point.
Oh, great.
And the story will change based on how you perform in Chapter 8.
Okay. The way I basically try to make sure that I have a couple heroes that are pretty good at, so like, okay, who are my mobility heroes? Who are my vigor heroes? I have found that I kind of go in a little too heavy on combat because there are certain missions where it's like in the game where it's like, if you hit this point, if you get to this thing with the stats with your team, you get double experience. Or if you hit this with the stats of your team, you automatically fail the mission. And I have found that with the combat ones that have like a combat of 7 or higher, I actually can't send more than one hero because I just have kind of and I think that's just because when I think of video games I think of combat being important, but it's not more important in this game. It's just kind of like it's something that I have internalized with 34 years of 36 years of video games behind me. The combat is important. You have to get combat right. You have to be able to combat. And really in this game, it doesn't matter more than any other stat. And so I have kind of got myself in a pickle. Thankfully, I had Golem and he could do a spread. And so I was able to have Golem take over that one and kind of handle it. So that was
there's also like, I think Golem has an ability where you can respec him at the beginning of every one of his specializations
where he just like, you can choose him to have certain specializations instead of doing the spread, right?
Yeah.
It's
super great.
Same with Punch Up. Punch Up can either insert himself into missions or he can have like bonuses to certain things. Sup, Stormreach.
There is a problem with Punch Up, and it's that every other hero, you'll unlock and understand what their first level power is by just sending them on enough missions. It'll unlock. For Punch Up specifically, it only unlocks when he fails a mission, and I haven't failed a mission with him yet. I failed a mission with a lot of other people, but not Punch Up. So I can't get to his level 2 because Punch Up hasn't failed yet.
Yeah, Punch Up can't Punch Up does not get injured if he fails, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you struggling with, Stormrage?
Well, I may have restarted Chapter 6, or I can't remember which one it was, a lot of times because there was an opening sequence where I was like, I'm going to get this. Because I would keep sending Phenomenon on a mission, and then Phenomenon would get depressed. He would leave the mission because somebody else would fail it on like a 75% chance to succeed. And then that one would fail, and then because that one failed, like the next 4 would all fail, and so it'd keep cascading. So I kept restarting it, and it was driving me crazy, and I needed, if I could go back in time, if I could change one thing about my playthrough so far, it would that I would change Phenomenon's level up ability from the heroes that he goes with rest quicker to medicated, because I just want him to be able to go on a mission and know he's going to finish that mission so bad.
Yeah, I never fail missions, so this isn't a problem for me. Get good, noob.
Okay.
When Phenomenon is always on a 5-second timer, like he is for me, because I don't ever fail, he's pretty awesome.
Daniel, what are you struggling with?
I want to level everyone up. Like, I want to master all their abilities. I want to like play through all like the different like iterations. I want to get to like specializations for everybody. But like the way the game is designed and playthrough, you don't get to specialize everybody. You have a finite number of specializations. They're only available when, like, you know, during a mission, when Blonde Blazer, you know, has the ability to train somebody, and depending on where you are at and which heroes are out on missions and that kind of stuff, like, okay, well, this person's going to get trained because I have these other missions coming up and I have to care of this. And because of the way the game plays out, you don't really get to specialize everybody, which is cool. It makes the game fun. It makes each playthrough different and exciting and interesting. But also, I just want to do it all. I want to be a completionist, and the game doesn't like really play for completionism in the gameplay dispatch portion. And I just struggle with it so hard. What surprised you, Matt?
Just the synergies that develop when you send the same heroes on missions. Like Punch Up and Waterboy are like my top 2 people I send now, because they have this highest synergy level because they work because Punch Up does the top right. Waterboy I have now set up to do the bottom left, and like, you know, the charisma is more on Punch Up, but so it works out like that. They just make a big spread, and they can do anything together. They're great, and the dialogue between them is hilarious. So, yeah. What surprised you, Stormrage?
Just the absolute perfection of Chase's plot arc. Like him being a hero, him recruiting Robert, being a father figure for Robert, then him just having an absolute hatred of Vizzy, and then coming around, understanding his own mistakes, understanding how he might have gotten things wrong, and at the end of the day, proving why and how he's a hero by giving Vizzy a chance to survive. It's so good, and I love this plot so much, and I love Chase as a character so much. It's just great. Dano?
How they managed to make each dispatch round feel different. So you would think that the dispatch gameplay like loop would get boring, because it's like you're just assigning characters to go do stuff, right? It seems like it should be boring, but they really managed to throw different different wrench into the works every single time. So sometimes you're missing a party member or 2 party members, or there's a new party member you level up, or there's going to be, maybe it's slow at the beginning of the shift, but super crazy at the end of the shift. Or there is a storyline where you have to keep track of what things the Riddler is, doing. And so every dispatch round has a little quirk to it that keeps it interesting and fun and makes the gameplay really fun and interesting. Which I've absolutely enjoyed. What's up, Matt?
My favorite one so far is the college students who called SDN to help them move, and then help them move in, and then help break down the boxes after moving. That's just like it's
Yeah.
so good. It's so good.
What about the boy who is like, "Hi, I totally have permission from my parents to call SDN and have you pick up a video game for me," because he's not old enough to
Or-
buy the video game.
Or the plot arc where you help an old lady like watch her cat, and then it turns out that it's just a literal lion that is living in her house.
They're all very fun and they're very, very good.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Storm Rage, sell the game to a friend.
It's just such a perfect story, y'all. It hits everything. There's nothing that I would want this game to do differently.
Matt?
Karaoke, bar fight, and late night tacos. The perfect night, really.
And then me, lying alone on the floor in your underwear with your pet. The perfect night, really.
Also true.
That's it for this week. Next week we're gonna beep some super villains and beep our heroes when they beep. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to our patrons and our Twitch subs for patronizing us. You can find links to our Discord and our contact info in the link tree in the description of this episode.
And Dispatch's gaming games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah! Let's turn this Z team around, baby.
This is the end of the show. Everybody bye!
I was chilling on the interwebs just this afternoon.
Flambebe's song is really truly a piece of art.
It is
so
art.
good. It's so good, and I want to sing more of it, but obviously can't because every other word in that song is a swear. But it's so good.
I finished that moment, paused the game, and immediately went to Discord and messaged Storm Rage because it was
Yeah.
so funny.
It's insane to me that I've obviously finished chapters 1 through 6 for the second time, and just talking about this game makes me go, I bet I could do another playthrough. And like the game doesn't have that much new story when you make new choices. Like there's
No.
flavor, there's personality, but the story doesn't significantly change. So I shouldn't want to be playing through and starting again when I'm halfway through the story for my second time. But it's so engaging.
It's really fun. It's really, really fun. Like, it's just like the dialogue and just the acting and like just everything. Just like, it's just fun. It's just fun to hang around these people.
Yeah.
And when you don't put too much or enough thought into how you're leveling up your superheroes, you do get to a spot around episode 3 or episode 4 where you're like, oh, I gotta clean up this mess I've made here, which makes the playthrough fun and interesting again. So if you aren't min-maxing, you're like, wait a minute, I don't have anyone with a charisma higher than 3.
Right?
Or if you get rid of Sonar, it's like, wait a minute, I don't have anybody who's intelligent.
Yep.
So I had to make Coop intelligent. I don't have Waterboy either because Waterboy's also intelligent. So if you have
Not really. Waterboy's stats start at 1 and 2, and then you can kind of build it from there. And I kind of just focused on his 2 and 1, his 2 stats. So
My problem is that I kept sending Sonar, who then had intelligence, and I was like, great. And then he turned into a stupid bat, and now he's an idiot.
but he's strong.
He's super strong. But then when I ever had a second intelligence call come up, it was like, well, Sonar's being a dumb bat, so I can't send him.
Yeah, what was fun with Sonar, what I ended up doing with Sonar was only focusing on his intelligence and his charisma at the beginning, and then move to his speed at the end. Because then you basically have, he's always fast, because all that gets flip-flopped is vigor and strength and charisma and intelligence. And so then you always have somebody speedy, and then you also have, off and on, you have someone who's just smarter or good in a fight. But
yeah. Right now, I have Malevola and Flambe as my kind of best overall around heroes because they have like higher charisma and higher. At least that's what I did, and then I've been specializing the rest of them. It's been a lot of fun.
My Flambebe is pure speed and pure combat. Like he is just like two long triangles, and then as he succeeds, it gets long. Those two things get higher and higher. So he's basically like crazy fast and crazy strong.
Did y'all unlock Malevola's ability where she can see what the shape is going to be on the mission?
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's good.
It's insane. That's really
So,
good.
Yeah, it's whenever when Malevola is sent with a hero that is injured, she heals the injury, she gains a bonus, and then the level up is the next mission. If you assign her, you can unassign her, but it'll still go away. You can see what the stats required are.
I've never even leveled her up once. I've never specialized her once. Let alone
she's
second
so
specialization.
good.
She's literally the best hero on my roster.
I think she might be.
She's always like an all-rounder for me. So like she kind of just is always on a mission, kind of like filling out whatever I need. I think for me the best one I have is my favorite superhero at least is what am I blanking on her name? Prism with her specialization.
Oh, so good.
Totally busted. You send her with any decent hero, and it's just totally busted.
It's insane. Yeah, Prism is really good. Malevola is really, really good. I think that's that's the only ones I found that are just like, all right, I got to keep you around so I can just, I don't have to send you on as many missions because I need you for the important ones or the ones that I need the extra boost on.
Invisigal's level up on the second level up. So her innate one is Lone Wolf, where she gets to and completes jobs faster when she's on her own. But her second one is Wolf Pack, and it doubles experience for people that she's on a team with. So I am sending her on every mission with a big group to double that XP. It's awesome.
Yeah, I did that one the second time. So I had the Wolf Pack this time. The first time I used her specialization where you can see like how many spots are going to be open for an upcoming mission. And I found that to be kind of whatever. It was actually suggested in a game guide that's what you should get. And I found it to be kind of like whatever.
It doesn't matter because I barely send like a full party on all those missions.
I didn't find it.
Missions. I send like 2 people anyway, right?
Like, so you can properly plan. And I was like, I guess there are some times would be useful. Like there was one moment at the end of episode 5 or 6 where I thought it was over because the alarm clock was up, and then I had 3 missions pop up out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, crud. And so I had not missed a mission yet, and I wanted to get 100%. And I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I ended up having it was the one where you had to go fight the big red ring fight, and there are like 4 spots open. And all I had left to send was Phenomoman and Punch Up by themselves. And it was a combat one, so it worked out really well. And I had to wait till the very last moment to click on it so they'd be done resting. But they got it, and then everything worked out well. So,
yeah, Prism also has an ability where, like, if it's like where she can extend a call, where like if a call is about to expire, it extends the call, so you have like an extra couple seconds to have the call happen. It's really good. It happens like once a round, I think. So.
All right. Well, I think that's it for the episode. Thank you all so much for listening and hanging out, and we'll talk at you again next week.
Bye-bye.